Welcome to game day. John, thank you very much for joining me. I was just waking up after that goalless draw at Oxford. What was your thoughts on that?
One word sums it up, I think: boring. Boring. Like, when did football and supporting your team and following your team feel like a chore? Because it really does at the moment. A few weeks ago we sat down on the pod on a Thursday night and talked about what we were going to do over the next 4 and 6 games. You look at what we have done, and we've got 4 points from 4 games, and we didn't deserve 3 of them. Let's be fair. We were, you can't even say average tonight. There was nothing about us. Nothing about us. They reminded me of us about 3-4 weeks ago, like playing some neat, tidy football with no penetration, and they looked a little bit better than us first half. Second half, it was much of a muchness. We were just average. Not even that. We were poor, really poor. What was their stats? Something like 18 games without keeping a clean sheet, and then roll up town. Here we come. I'll tell you what, we just won't have any shots on target till the 91st minute or whatever. The stats there. It came up on iFollow. We had 2 out of 22 crosses were successful, and it's 41% possession. So that doesn't match Lambert's possession football. And we had 0 clear-cut chances. I mean, that's the end of the story. 0 clear-cut chances. I think the positives to come out of it, you realise just how much of an influence Gwion Edwards and Teddy Bishop were making at the beginning of the season. Because without Bishop's running and without Edwards' kind of directness and actual impact, we've got nothing, have we? Nothing at all. I don't understand some of his decisions again. Dobra wasn't on the bench on Saturday. Drafted straight into start today. What's the logic? Surely, if he was going to be in the team at some point, get him on the bench last week. I just don't get that. And then McGavin, I presume McGavin's picked up a knock because he's not even in the 18 today. If not, that's if he's genuinely just being dropped, that's terrible man management again. And Dobra did okay. He had at least you could see he was putting himself about and trying, but we were just average at best. Boring. We've got no confidence. We've got no threat, and we haven't got much of an idea. I don't know where we're going.
Oh, dearie me. Thomas, thank you for joining me once again. Oh, dear, that was just dreadful. Your thoughts?
Oh, sorry. I was just blocking out the noise because apparently that seemed to work beginning of the season, didn't it? Fact how good that was. That was rubbish. It kind of reminded me of Wimbledon away last season back in February. I know that was cold that night as well, but obviously we were there. We're not there today. But there's no fire, no passion. We're a team on the decline once again, which is a bit worrying because Wimbledon was in February, which is in our season. It kind of gone downhill, and now the fact that we're playing like this in November now, and it reminds me of that game in February. It shows we've got a long season ahead of us. We've gone from top of the league once again, and we're now struggling to put up a fight against a team who were 19th before this. That's their first clean sheet this season, and we've only got 1 shot on target against them. It's complete dross. It's just hard to put into words in a civilized manner, let's say. But we were effectively outplayed that game. For me, Wolfenden today, he was bad. That was Toto playing there today, and he played like that. We'd be all on him. We'd all be moaning about him, but because it's Wolfenden, because he's one of our lads, he won't get mentioned. But he was, in my eyes, he wasn't very good. Didn't have a good game. He's probably quite lucky that Toto and Wilson are injured because he'll start Saturday either way. So, if I haven't seen anything that Lambert said yet, but if he says that we've played well and we deserve to win, then someone needs to send him to the loony bin and sort him out because he's just talking rubbish. He's just mad, and I want him out. It's time for him to go. We can't. I don't know how much longer we can stick with this because we're just going down, down, down. But I'll carry on blocking out noise again. See you later.
Well, Steve, thank you very much for joining me once again. Oh, dearie me. That was bad. It was watching paint dry, basically, weren't it? A goalless draw at Oxford. Your thoughts, I'm sure. Not much to say, really.
Yeah, that's pretty dreadful. Town fans of my generation, we have fond memories of Oxford because that's where we won promotion or clinched promotion in '92. We've fallen a long way from then. Yeah, that was awful. That first half was just dreadful. I struggle to believe this is the same season as the one where we went to places like Blackpool and scored 4 goals away from home, because we look a million miles away from that team. Obviously, injuries don't help. I don't want to make an excuse for Lambert, but, not having Edwards, not having Bishop, who were among the goals early in the season. Nolan back tonight, but he was pretty poor, to be honest. Norwood out injured now. I feel it's unfair to be putting so much pressure on the shoulders of the likes of Drinan. Drinan was an afterthought for most of the McCarthy era, even though McCarthy signed him. Going out on random loans to clubs we've never heard of. And now it's like, he's the big saviour for some people. But yeah, we never look like scoring. We don't cross the ball enough or well enough when we do get a few chances. Set plays. Dazelle makes a big difference to us when he's on form. I like watching him play because he will instinctively turn and look forwards. I'm assuming that's the influence of our academy and Brian Clew. I hope it is. Too many other players, and Marcus Stewart spotted this in commentary, get the ball and immediately look backwards. And that's partly what's slowing us down at the moment. I noticed that when Oxford attacked and Cornell caught the ball, they sprinted like they were doing a beak test to get it back into. It was weird. It was like someone had put a Christmas pudding down the other end of the pitch and told them the first one who got there could eat it. They were herring off. We just a bit more languid. On the positive side, I thought we won the physical battle at points tonight when we had to kind of dig in and get our head to the ball and clear it. And we dealt with their flair players quite well and kept a clean sheet. We've gone up a place in the table. I know not everyone played tonight, but I still think Lambert needs to go. Yeah, if that's the result, setting aside the injuries, and we do have bad injuries, if that's the result of him being here for a couple of years, it's bad recruitment, it's bad tactics, it's bad training, it's bad everything. I don't like calling for a manager to go, but I don't see how this suddenly turns around, and it needs to. You look at the results tonight, the division is wide open. No one is going to. I don't think anyone's going to run away with it. Our problem is that we might end up finishing 10th again if we don't do something.
Well, Simon, thank you very much for joining me once again. Oh, dear Lord, that was bad. Very boring game indeed. A goalless draw against Oxford. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was a dreadful game. It was a game where, as a neutral, if you'd seen that and someone asked, why do you do this to yourself? You just kind of think, why do I do it? It's just dreadful. There was nothing at all to recommend the game to anybody. And I think it took to like the 85th minute for Town to even have a shot on target. And it was just so poor. The passing was lackluster. The movement wasn't there. The crosses were overhit. And it was an odd start to the game as well. Lambert bringing Armando Dobra. I love Dobra, but he's kind of brought him straight out of nowhere into the starting 11, having left him out of the 18 last 2 games. So you wonder is he making a point to the fans? Kind of what's going on with that. But yeah, it was not a good game at all. I've likened it to the game we played with Burton a few years ago, which again was a 0-0 draw, and it was another game without any kind of just no chances, not even a half chance really. When you look back at the game, to even go, oh, that was kind of decent play. At least we looked like we were trying something different. When Hawkins and Jackson played up front together, there was a little bit of something. Maybe you can see that working moving forward. But again, it was odd off the back of we can't play 2 up front. He's now moved to that twice in 2 games. But you have to look at it now. That's 3 games without a goal. And realistically, 3 games without a chance as well. You look back through those kind of 3 games. Did we look like scoring in any of them at any point? I think you have to say the answer is no. And it seems like the only way Town are going to pick up points at the minute is if they shut the other team out and draw 0-0, because at the minute they cannot work the ball up front, create any clear-cut chances, and it's a real worry that they're just going to slide away and finish as they did last season in a relatively weak position. And I don't see that changing unless the manager goes.